Etsy News, your one-stop shop for everything that's happening in the world of Etsy. And what has Etsy been playing at this week? There's been a massive glitch that is genuinely crashing people's sales for this busiest time of the hopefully busiest time of the year. And Etsy's trialing something new that sounded kind of good, but is it really? All this and more in today's Etsy News. So, first thing, now for those of you that haven't been here before, as the week goes on, what I do is I collect all the news, pop it into this document. So you'll see maybe sometimes I'll get snatches of something that I've just seen and I'll save it. And then as the week goes on, maybe they'll get more details. That has been the case with this. So there was a message went out earlier in the week just saying that basically Etsy's going to offer a new personalization feature to make it easier for you and your buyers. So you're going to be able to add a list of options for your personalized listings to let buyers choose the choices, thread colors, font styles, to get the right information. This sounded good. So the personalization field, instead of just one option, there was going to be 5 options, combination of text fields and all sorts of things in the personalizations. This is what I heard at the start of the week. This sounded good. We will cycle back round to this in a minute. If you haven't seen in your Etsy dashboard, they have improved this slightly. They got your top tasks are in your dashboard, and what it was a big problem because it was going back through the entire history. So I was getting told I had so many expired listings because it sold out or expired a long time ago. I believe Etsy has fixed it this week so that sold out listings for one of a kind things are not included in this, because it's really annoying. If you only have a one of a kind thing, it's sold out, you know. But also really old stuff that was expired, I didn't need to know about it. Now, it is good to know sold out and expired for more recent things. So now they've changed this so your top tasks on your dashboard only shows activity from the last 30 days. So this is good if you have listings, especially, things, I don't know, like digital things or whatever that sell out and relist, and you don't realize that you've come to the end of it, it's sold out, or something's expired. It's just good to know here's something that you need to deal with. So that's okay. So, and yeah, the messaged things, I've actually found that useful because for some reason now my email sends Etsy message notifications to my spam folder, well, to my others folder, so I don't see it. So when I log into Etsy, at least I can see that buyers are messaging me now. For everyone in the UK, thankfully, shipping labels to the US are back. Etsy's got its act together and noticed that the Royal Mail in the UK is doing the delivery duty paid to the US, so we can pay the tariffs up front. I haven't shipped out anything to the US since this appeared, so I don't know how well it's working. So let me know in the comments below if it's smooth or not. Here's a worrying one. Now, always we hear people are saying things are, what has Etsy done? My sales have tanked, my views have tanked. And most of the time it's not a thing. It's just the time of year, a bit of bad luck, maybe new competitors come on. And people have been saying it this year, and yes, things are quieter, but people were saying it's like the lights have been turned off. And you can see at the bottom here is an actual graph of what somebody's views were looking like, and they dropped by about a third in a day. So what's going on? Well, this actually is a thing. I say it is a thing. It's been going on since about the 6th of November, so that's 10 days ago. I haven't seen any notifications it's fixed. However, in the Etsy forums, Etsy actually replied to this technical issue. They don't often reply, but they did say We see an issue, we are working on the issue. So this definitely is an issue. And let me explain what the issue is. It seems that these shops that have been affected are de-indexed in search. So what this means is they're not showing up in search. The listing is everything looks normal from their point of view in their shop, but it's just not been shown to buyers in search at all. So this is why the traffic can absolutely dip. You might not have noticed it if most of your traffic comes from other places, but if it's not in search, that's going to hurt a lot of shops, obviously, because we're on Etsy, because we'd like to catch some of that footfall that goes past the shops just because we're in Etsy, basically. Now, I tried to check into this. Well, firstly, there is a workaround. It's not a fix, but people are reporting if they switch their shop onto vacation mode and then back out of vacation mode, their listings are indexed again. This is very strange, and it only lasts for about 24 hours. I don't understand the mechanics of that. Definitely should hopefully show to people that just turning on vacation mode doesn't hurt your shop. Being in vacation mode for weeks or months while your competitors are getting sales, that makes a difference. But just turning on vacation mode isn't hurting your shop. And for some reason, this seems to be resetting things. Now, usually in the past, when people have said they've been de-indexed, I've been able to look into it and sort of understand some more things. I haven't been able to in this case because obviously people, as soon as they know how to fix it, temporarily fix it, are temporarily fixing it, because this is the busy time of the year that you want to try and catch all the sales that you can. So I haven't been able to see a shop that's in the de-indexed state. So I can only talk about what I've seen in the past for de-indexed shops. So I'll explain. And this is why quite often it takes Etsy a little bit of time to find out about it. A de-indexed shop will generally, it's the final step, the personalization step for some reason that isn't showing up in search. So Etsy knows their listing exists, it's ranked it in the normal ranking step, but that hasn't been passed on to the personalization step. So this means that the API is still showing you ranking. So tools like eRank will still show you ranking. And if you talk to Etsy support, they're obviously looking at the API as well, because they'll say, there's not a problem. Look, you're still ranking. It's all fine. But there's a disconnect between that final personalization step. So although it's ranking, it's not actually being shown, if that makes sense. So I believe it's a similar thing there, but I haven't been able to check it. But Etsy are aware of this issue. They're working on this issue. I don't know if it's fixed yet. If you have seen a drop like this and you think it's because of this case, what you can do is, a good way to check is to go into your shop and see the search box actually in your shop and search for something that you make. If you make baby hats, type baby hat, something like that. And if you're de-indexed, then it won't show up. Another way is to basically search for your entire title for something. If you haven't been copying everybody else's title, if your title's kind of unique, you really should show up. So if you're not showing up at all in search, then this could be the issue. And you might as well take the fix of vacation mode and off and back off again, nice and quickly, and see if that helps. Hopefully Etsy will get this sorted out soon. Etsy's got the Nest Makers Future Fund. This is for US based craft businesses only, but I think they did it last year. Select makers will receive intensive coaching, financial readiness training, and a $5,000 business boost grant to help their craft businesses grow. So I don't know how good the coaching is. I didn't hear from anyone who won it last time round and who they're getting trained by or whatever else, but hey, £5,000's good. I could sit through some boring nonsense for £5,000. So this was in the newsletter for this week. So if you go to the forums, the newsletter, there's a place to apply if you're an eligible US seller. Free money's free money. Um, so again, we saw some more of this personalization tool. So sounds good. They were telling you a little more about it, what to expect if it's going to be a closed beta. So up to 5 personalization fields. They can be a mix of text fields and a list of options. So you can gather custom details like the name of the customer, the dates of their wedding, or special messages, list of options like color or font style, and more personalization features coming soon. So they want you to take their survey to tell them everything that's going on. This invite is only for you if you received it directly from Etsy, but there is a live document on Etsy, so I don't. They're not usually good enough to, to tell about that, but sounds cool. And definitely, if you are using personalization, it sounds great to have more options. But there is a couple of little extra things that are putting people off. Firstly, personalization settings can only be managed on Etsy's website, not the Etsy seller app. This by itself is strange. Etsy usually rolls things out to the app. They're more interested in supporting that. Third-party tools will be blocked during the beta. Examples of these tools include Printify, ShipStation, eRank, Shopify, Marketplace, Connect, Gelato, and Cordial. And some features may not work. It might not launch. But yeah, this was the interesting thing, right? They didn't explain a whole lot here, but third party, it sounds like all third party tools are going to be blocked. Now, it kind of makes sense, something like Printify, those personalizations, it's only in beta, so these personalizations aren't going to be being fed back to Printify. But ShipStation, you're shipping things, eRank, SEO tools, why? Why are they cutting all of this off? So people were confused by that. I'm going to go back. I thought I had something else there. This bit here. So join if you're eligible. You can manage it through the website. Third-party integrations, it's not they'll just be available. They will be disabled during the beta, which means you won't be able to connect with external tools or services, including those unrelated to personalization. This is very strange to me. Why is Etsy setting up something that... Now, it could just be laziness on their part. They're saying, oh, things might not work well with something like Printify, so we'll just shut off everything. We'll just make it easy for ourselves. We won't take the steps that are needed. I just don't trust Etsy just now. They're finding a system to shut down third-party tools and testing it. Am I being conspiratorial? Possibly. Have I had a bad week? Possibly. But yeah, who knows? But interesting. And this is something they were explaining in just talking about this beta, but they're saying do not use personalizations too. So I'm just wondering if this is something they're going to change their policies for all personalization boxes, because I've seen people recommending using personalization for these things for a very long time. This is a common thing that sellers do, these 2 steps. Get a buyer's phone number. If you need a buyer's phone number for shipping purposes, contact them via messages. Yes, Etsy, but as I just told you, messages go to the non-prioritized mailbox now, the alerts for them. People don't see their messages, people don't answer their messages, so people are having trouble with this. So how about in our shipping profiles, have something set up saying do people need to add a phone number? Yes, they need to add a phone number, so that's collected when it's needed. Because if your shipping company needs a phone number and you need to message your customer and they don't get back to you, what do? Some people put their own phone number, and fair enough, but contacting them via messages when messages doesn't work great. It works fine, but not everybody sees it, not everybody answers to it. So that's a pain. And prompt a buyer to acknowledge that they're ordering a digital item. Etsy is taking several steps to address buyer confusion around digital items. So at least Etsy knew people were doing this because Etsy had been confusing. Items are marked as digital downloads under each digital listing on search results page and in the item details on the listing page. Yeah, because all buyers read all things. They don't just see a picture and go, I want that. But anyway, so Etsy are saying not to use personalizations for these things. I've only seen that in their beta thing. I haven't dug deeply. They might have changed things, but I'm just wondering if this is going to be rolled out across everything. But anyway, that's what I've seen from this week. Let me know what you think, or if I've missed anything. I am sure I have. But anyway, I'll see you next time.